You ever hear a gunshot so sharp, so sudden, it slices right through your morning like a bad omen? That was me barefoot on my porch, coffee still warm in my hand, when I heard the crack that changed everything. And when I saw Thunder, my bull, drop in the pasture like his soul got yanked out of him. I didn't run, I didn't yell, I just stood there. Watching. Heart caught somewhere between rage and disbelief. Thunder wasn't just livestock. He was family. I raised him from a calf after my divorce, back when I was rebuilding my life from scratch out here in Quaidale Springs. My little ranch, 20 acres of sweat, solitude, and second chances had finally started to feel like home again. And Thunder. He was part of that. The rhythm of him, the sound of hooves, the calm. You know. So when I saw him hit the dirt, blood soaking into the frosted grass, I knew something wasn't right. This wasn't some coyote gone rogue. This was human. Calculated. Ugly. And there she was, clipboard queen herself, Karen, head of our HOA, standing at the property line like she'd just inspected a fence post, not executed a living, breathing animal. "We're conducting a wild boar control operation," she said, calm as ever, like that explained it. A wild boar? That bull weighed a ton, wore a brass name tag, and was slower than molasses. Ain't no one confusing him for a feral hog unless they wanted to. I just stared at her. And beside her stood Chad, HOA vice president, ex-military but mostly cosplay now, rifle still warm, face like he just did something heroic. Mike was there too, their so-called security officer, a retired cop who still acts like he's got a badge and a beat. All of them staring at me like I was the problem. Let me back up a sec. I used to be a prosecutor. Damn good one, too. Before I traded courtrooms for cattle and subpoenas for solitude. But that morning, something flipped. The moment they shot Thunder, they didn't just kill my bull, they woke up the man I used to be. And body, they should have let him sleep. At first, I thought maybe this was just a horrible accident. But then the letter came. $5,000. $5,000 for carcass removal from a designated safety zone. Like they were doing me a favor. That's when I knew. This wasn't a mistake. This was step one. Turns out, the HOA had pushed through a new Ordinance 4203, be something about extended wildlife mitigation zones and community protection protocols. Sounded official. Legal. But buried deep in the fine print. A redrawn boundary that just happened to include my property. Without notice. Without vote. And approved by none other than Commissioner Halpan, whose wife, by the way, is the lead broker for Rivergate developers. And guess who founded Rivergate? Karen's husband, Gerard. Yeah, that happened. I started digging. Quietly. Pulled tax records, land maps, HOA bylaws. Found out Pete Oldtimer down the way lost his guinea hens a few months back. Noise complaints, they said. Maria's little girl. Her therapy goat escaped the perimeter, got put down. And then they offered to buy her land. Below market, of course. She didn't sell. But she did get slapped with weekly fines after that. Pattern was clear: harass, intimidate, fine, shoot, repeat. All under the shiny label of community improvement. Now here's the kicker, every single target was just outside HOA control. Until this ordinance expanded the zone. Then suddenly boom, they're all violations. Or safety concerns. Karen and her crew would roll in with citations, staged photos, and a smile. And if you didn't comply, something mysteriously ended up dead. Or you got a lien slapped on your house. But they messed with the wrong guy. I started documenting. Every letter, every inspection, every camera I could mount, I did. Got audio of Mike saying, if he doesn't move that trailer, we can escalate. Got Chad bragging about how Phase 2 would clear the holdouts. And Karen. She slipped up at a community meeting. Said on record that acquiring non-compliant parcels is essential to preserving neighborhood aesthetics. That was their game. Clear out the old-timers, the independents, the ones who wouldn't sell. Flip the land. Bring in luxury homes. Jack up prices. So I made a few calls. See, just 'cause I left the DA's office doesn't mean I forgot how to swing the axe. I reached out to a friend at the state AG's office, looped in a contact at the USDA, and before long I had some eyes watching from higher up. All I needed now was the right moment. That moment came during a special HOA meeting. Karen Court said it was about finalizing safety measures for remaining non-compliant parcels. I showed up early. Wired. A few feds in the back, plain clothes. And Karen, standing up front with her little PowerPoint, pointing to a map riddled with red dots. These properties, she said, are scheduled for mitigation by end of quarter. She clicked to the next slide. Phase 3. That's when I stood up. Interesting term, mitigation, I said, loud enough for the room to hush. Is that what we are calling shooting livestock now? Karen froze. Chad shifted. Mike started walking toward me. But then Agent Chan stood up. Karen Whitmore, she said, badge flashing. You're under investigation for conspiracy, fraud, and animal cruelty. I suggest you sit down. You ever see someone's face go from smug to soulless in half a second? That was Karen. Chad dropped his coffee. Mike tried to walk out, didn't make it far. The fallout. Oh, it was glorious. Alpan resigned. Rivergate got raided. Karen's under federal indictment. Mike and Chad are done. And every single citation they ever issued is being reviewed and reversed. But what really matters? Thunder got justice. His blood didn't soak into that ground for nothing. Now, a year later, there's a plaque where he fell. Reads, "Here stood the line they couldn't cross. I got a new bull, his name's Storm, and he's got a whole field to roam, safe and wide. Maria's goat. Replaced by 2. Pete's guinea hens. Back in full volume. And me. I'm back in court not as a prosecutor, not yet, but I'm helping folks fight these crooked HOAs full-time. All pro bono. Just doing what needs doing. Because here's the thing, power corrupts easy in small places. Especially when no one's watching. But when you shine a light on it, when you say no more, that power withers fast. So let me ask you something: if someone came after your land, your animals, your family, would you fight back? Tell me below. I wanna hear your story. Because I know for damn sure I ain't the only one who's had enough of clipboard tyrants and fake authority. And if you've ever lost something because someone thought they were above the law, share this. Let's drag this kind of darkness into the daylight. Together.